Hey everyone, so today I'm going to be showing you how to do dip powder gel at home. It's really simple, so I'm actually going to be showing you with my non-dominant hand, which is my left hand, to prove to you that it is possible. Starting with the step 1 New Genesis prep liquid, and what this does is it basically dehydrates the nail and gets off any oils that you might already have on your fingers, which prevent you from having long-lasting nails. So I'm just putting a generous amount on each nail, not too much, so you don't want to oversaturate the nail. Next step is to use the base gel. This is the sticky coat. And I'm also using Kiara Sky dip powder. This is just the clear powder. So you're going to want to paint the nail. I like to start at the cuticle and just pull down. Some people start 3/4 of the way down on the first coat, but I find that just makes ripples in the nail. So just put on the second glue base as you would nail polish. And you're going to dip it in the powder and then just tap it off. Tap off the excess. You're going to continue this process. Do one nail at a time because you don't want the glue to dry out. So I do one coat of the clear powder gel as a base. And then what I'm doing is I'm using an old makeup brush and I'm just dusting off any excess powder. So now I'm going to carry on with the actual color, and I'm using Kiara Sky again, but you can use any kind of dip powder for this process, and I'm just using a pink 2. So it's pretty see-through, which I really like because I like a natural look for when I'm trying to grow my natural nails. And I'm going to repeat the same process. So I'm going to be painting a thin coat of the gel 2, or the nail glue basically, and starting at the cuticle, dragging the polish down. What you want to do is make sure that the glue that you've painted on the step 2 process, you want to make sure that the glue is really shiny and doesn't have any divots or dimples in it. If you notice that the glue has holes or it has kind of divots in the coat that you've put on, you probably need to be using a thicker coat because that will actually show when you dip it in the powder. It will not have a smooth appearance. So I'm going to repeat this process 3 times with the color. So 1 layer of clear and 3 layers of my pink. This part is optional, but I'm also going in with a glitter sparkle on my last layer, and this is from New Genesis, and it is a pink glitter gradient. So I'm just going in on my accent figure because I want to add a little bit of extra sparkle. The last step is the activation liquid, step 3. It's an important step. This is the step that solidifies everything, so you're going to paint this on quite liberally. Make sure you saturate every part of the nail that you've painted in order to harden. Now if you don't use this, everything will not stay on your nails. So once I'm done this process, I'm actually going to be taking my nail file and just really gently going over with a fine nail file and making sure that those edges are smoothed out. I'm then going to be taking my white buffing block. If you have a Dremel at home, you can also use a Dremel, but for the purpose of doing this at home, I'm using a white buffing block, and I'm just going over my nails and making sure that they're smooth and checking in between with my finger, just touching them and making sure that they feel really soft and smooth. The last step is our finish gel. Now, funny story, I could not open my finish gel. I even tried to get my boyfriend to try and help me open it with pliers, and I was unable to do that. So actually instead I'm using OPI gel top coat and just curing it for 30 seconds. If you don't have this step at home, that is completely fine. The intention is actually to use the finish gel, but unfortunately, like I said, I could not open mine. I must have not cleaned the top of it and it glued shut, which can happen. So be very careful to clean your lids off. I have learned my lesson. And there you go, that's the finished product. I'm just adding some cuticle oil here to finish off my nails. So there you have the finished product. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video if you enjoyed watching.